Hi, I'm Kayla Kramer, and thank you for joining us here on Jax SongStage Showcase. Our show features artists that perform the music that tells their own story, the highs, lows, and in-betweens from their personal experience, lived out and expressed in the songs they write and perform.
We don't want the things that we used to have. We're just searching for a place to land.
Well, that's what you have with today's group. We have two sets of twins, all brothers and sisters, Seth, Sarah, Nate, and Naomi Crandall, telling their own story through their own music. Together, they are the band After the Millennials. We're going to get to know these passionate siblings with a mission, and we're going to hear their music performed live right here on Jax SongStage Showcase. You guys have had some great experiences and some recognition already within the music industry.
We're a fairly new band, but we've had some really cool opportunities. We were part of House of Blues Music Forward Foundation, Bringing Down the House. So it was like a workshop, and then at the end of it, we got to play the Wiltern in LA, which was so cool because that's like such an iconic venue. We were a part of the New Regale radio station. We were on the top charts for a couple weeks, which was really cool. We were part of the Lafati magazine in the UK, so we had a little piece segmented on there, and it was really cool, just opportunities.
Music. What part has it really played in your guys' lives growing up together?
When I first started playing music, I played music because my dad was in a band.
My dad.
I don't remember a time when I wasn't playing music. It kind of just started as soon as I could start moving my limbs.
My dad was in bands growing up, so we would go on stage with him, we'd do a couple songs, we always just were around music. So it's something that we really grew up in and around. We each started on piano, kind of got the basics, and then we gravitated towards our own instruments. So we all had the same foundations.
He was playing with some friends, and one of those friends was playing the keyboard, and I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I would like to do that, please.
When I was maybe 10 or 11, he showed me this band called Silver Sun Pickups, and it had a super strong bass line, probably the first strong bass line I'd ever heard, and it had a girl bass player named Nikki, and so like as a 13-year-old or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play bass like Nikki, and it's gonna be amazing.
I've been playing like music or just doing making rhythmic sounds since I was like a baby. There's like just pictures of me of like hitting pots and pans in my grandma's kitchen. And so it kind of just developed into like, oh, I can hit pots and pans in a productive way that sounds good together. And it kind of just like developed into drumming. And then through that I started doing piano and other things, and I don't know, I just like it.
You guys are siblings. I think that makes it special. How do you feel about the twin factor? And how, in your opinion, how much has that helped?
It's easier, we have a better understanding of each other. I think like sometimes Nate will be on the drums and be like, hey, can you do something like this? And I'm like, yeah, of course I can do something like that. I understand what that means.
You understand what he's
exactly.
saying.
Yeah. So I think definitely there's some stuff like that where we can just kind of pick up on what the other person means.
I think being twins and siblings just in general helps for practices mostly. It's like we're all on the same wavelength. We're just kind of like, we can do it so seamlessly.
Naomi just is a fantastic singer and really just brings everything together. Nate is a natural talent, I would say, probably the most out of any of us.
There is definitely something special about the communication in our band. There has been times where we're like, okay, we haven't tried this song before, but let's just run through it real quick. And we'll like put in a random break, a build-up or something, and we like didn't even discuss it. We're just like, yeah, this feels right, and we all do the same thing. It's really cool.
Seth on keyboard, he will, he knows the theory side and composition, and so I can give him a basic idea and he can just like create it into this huge, amazing project.
Sarah is definitely the peacemaker if there's any arguments or frustrations. She's just good at like diffusing and being like, hey, what is really the goal here? And if this argument is not leading anywhere, then just cut it out.
So why the name After the Millennials?
It basically, to us, it means looking back at our past and the history, and like especially music history and where it's come from, but moving forward and applying what we've learned to our future and just kind of creating a better future.
Our band name, After the Millennials, is very like future focused, and our like colors and aesthetic are very retro. And that juxtaposition, I think, is really emblematic of the kind of style that we're going for, where we're trying to remember the past and remember the great music that came before us, but also transform it in our own way.
So there's wonderful things about the past. There's also some things that we need to fix. And then there's wonderful things about the future and the present, but we also need to fix it. So we're kind of trying to combine the two to get the best sort of present that we can.
I was like, that has a really cool ring to it, and I like it, so.
To